Well, hello.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Wherever you go.
There you are.
That is exactly
I should have watched
correct.
that movie.
What is that from? That's Buckaroo Banzai?
Buckaroo Banzai.
God, I don't know if I
Adventures.
think I've seen that most of the way through. I don't know if I've ever seen it.
Probably just DVD, not Blu-ray.
Oh, okay. Well,
Came across it the other day.
Although I don't know. I don't know. You put that on Blu-ray, it might actually look worse.
Oh, no.
Well, I'm just saying because, it's so old. Like sometimes,
True.
It just
Okay.
brings out. It's such high quality. You're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
now I see everything that they did wrong. Like I remember talking about how they had done some Blu-ray up conversion things, and then you could see like even when they switched to 1080p with newscasters and stuff, they have to use different makeup, and they use it because it was so clear.
Okay.
And it's sometimes film, then it's that does, we're all, oh god, the effects look really bad now because it's not quite as
we can see everything too clearly.
That's right.
Now
exactly.
the rain is gone.
But hopefully you guys are seeing us clearly because it is Thursday evening. It is 3:30 Pacific. It is 6:30 Eastern. It is 4:30 where we're at. We never
here.
change. We never move here in Southern Arizona. But it is time for some beverage podcasting and kind of a show 3 years in the making. I've been saying.
I saw that, but it's true.
It is very, very true. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith.
And we're about beverages. And Sushi is here. Hello, Sushi.
Sushi's first in.
First with the wave. Love to see it. Glad to see you. Glad to be here. I'm enjoying the scrolling down a little further in the Stream Beats Harris Heller Christmas holiday playlist, whatever. We were talking the other day because I think Hanukkah started a week ago. I think that started the 8th. Or something like that.
I don't know.
It started a little bit ago because that came up, and then I was like, "Oh, when is Kwanzaa?" And Kwanzaa is actually toward the end of the month.
I think it's the 26th or something.
Yeah, they're like, let's let all the Christmas commercialism get going, and then we'll have our holiday.
Then it's us.
That's probably the smart way to do it at this point, I think. Woot woot! Exactly. Let's just get a beverage out, and then we can start talking about everything else that we've got going on, including what has taken us 3 years to get to on this podcast. And it's not actually just something that we keep discussing and just not doing. It's actually
We're going to do it.
We're actually going to do it.
I was stocking some beer the other day, and I remember not stalking.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, stocking.
Good evening,
Hello,
Baker. How are
Baker.
you? Good to see you.
Wait, that's not it.
Oh, wait.
That was delicious, though.
That was good.
I had one of those actually last night.
Oh, it reset. Okay, hold on.
Last night I mixed that with some tonic and threw in a few little dashes of bitters. Make a delicious non-alcoholic beverage.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it was good.
Hold on. Yeah.
I was thinking that I couldn't believe it had been a year ago. Time is going by so quickly. I just can't quite get a hold on it. But it was a year ago that I bought the 2 beers for our other podcast that was months in the making. When I bought the Tower Station and the Dragoon. But those had I think those had December dates on them, and I bought them I believe I bought them in December, or
that's right.
Maybe it was January. I don't know, but still, I was like, "Oh my goodness, look at this!" Right before your very eyes.
Your very eyes, you're seeing things that I usually do before stream, and I had actually done them, but inside baseball, I had most things set up, and then my computer decided to blue screen, so I had to do everything. I forgot to go back and do this. Apparently, didn't save it. Dog Boy, how's it going? Ahoy, Keith and Andrew. How's it going tonight? Dog Boy, It is good to see you. Very good to see you. Yes, this is the sparkling Honeycrisp apple juice beverage. I don't know why they can't. I guess they can't say cider because that'd be alcohol. How does that work?
No.
Then why do they just say beverage? I mean, I appreciate them advertising for us
beverage.
right here. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
About beverage. We're about this beverage right now. Yeah, unfortunately,
I also appreciate
no
you bring
link.
over too.
So that's my my picture today at the store. I sent several of them. Well, 3 or 4, but. Because no link. This is not on the website. This only comes out holiday-ish season, November, December. But we've had this for a couple of years now. So not this particular can.
This exact can right here you were talking
beverage,
about.
So
Okay.
I can have to pour mine.
You will serve me.
It's usually how it works out, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Ooh, kind of champagne
What we
in
had
color.
should never have ended.
Yeah, nice.
Jim Croce Christmas there.
Oh man, I'll be dropping by today. Easily get it together
tonight.
But
we're jumping
get
right
it on together tonight.
Wait, we shouldn't be singing that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's not
I don't know.
right.
Jim Croce was probably getting on a lot of people.
That's not right. Well, according to the book that he didn't write.
That he didn't write, but yet had his exact words and feelings in it. And then he said,
yeah. And then I said,
and then there was a warm embrace, but not as warm as it could have been.
If we didn't say it was non-alcoholic, we should, because it is non-alcoholic.
There you go. I know I did not. Sushi, that is a wonderful point to say. Also, serving size 1 can, 120 calories. We've got, mostly it's here from sugar, shockingly enough, 25 grams of sugar, which you would expect. 12 fluid ounces.
12.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to actually be weirdly like slightly more. Like
More.
usually it's like the 11.2 ounce can.
Oh, one
but
of those
since it
things.
felt a little tall, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe it's like 13.4.
Yeah. It's weird because you're used to that 12 ounce can being that squatter can, and now
Right.
in many of the beverages, they're going with the more slender. Yeah, we definitely wouldn't want, especially with the 3 things that we're going to be
Yeah.
tasting here in a little bit.
Yeah,
We did not
exactly.
want to start out with more alcohol. And that's kind of been the thing anyways. We've been, I think, embracing the opener as the non-alcoholic. Doesn't
Yeah.
have to be that way. It's just works out well that way.
Yeah, and it's been nice because we've tried definitely more non-alcoholic beers this year, which has been really cool.
Yep.
Like I said, finding that athletic one that actually was really good and being able to have that as a recommendation for people is nice. I wish there have been a couple other spirit companies besides the one that we tried that do make like non-alcoholic mocktail kind of spirit things. I would like to try a couple more of those just to see if that's just like if
We
maybe
should.
there are some that are good. It's not fair just trying one. I
Yeah,
won't be
I'll
trying
have to-
anything else from that company, but I will we'll try from other
be
places.
on the lookout here for because I know there's some places that do like gin and other things. So we'll have to dig into that. Also, too, the Klaus Thaler, the other Trader Joe's non-alcoholic beer, their amber is now a dry hopped IPA.
Oh, you messaged me about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we do. I have had that one.
That's a non-alcoholic. too,
Yeah, I
too?
don't think we would do it as a podcast, but I could bring it over if you want to try one.
Sure.
Just to open, maybe, who knows, maybe even next week.
Was it worth
So-
action? So it's worth trying.
It's worth trying. I don't think it's as good as the Athletic. And I bought a second one because I was like, I'm not sure. I didn't like the first one. The one we had,
Perhaps.
the other one we had with it, we were like, I don't want to drink this. And this one, I was like, well, it's more. It goes more just toward the bitter.
Okay.
So anyway, but
That's good.
it is a tasty
That's really good.
beverage.
I don't eat as many of the Honeycrisp. Like sometimes those are kind of hard to find. It seems like
Oh, we have
maybe I just don't look for them. Although
Maybe.
that I could find on Trader Joe's website.
Honeycrisp
Apples.
apple.
Just apples
yeah.
straight up.
They were probably
I
in a
searched for that
flyer
and
or
there was-
something.
Yeah, I
somewhere,
searched for like three. I searched for Honeycrisp, and that was like the 3 things that came up with the apples.
the
and something else.
Honeycrisp. You can usually really smell that. They've got that. They do have that nice sweet taste, and we usually have it. Lately, I've been into pomegranates. You got to want it though.
Have you seen the
pomegranate.
easy way to open them?
I watched numerous videos. I remember Alton Brown's from years ago.
Okay.
I've heard all these different ways to do this. And yeah, I saw something like, I don't know, it was a TikTok or an Instagram or something. And
It was like you cut it
did
and
like
like-
the top and
Yeah.
then pulled that. Yeah, it's not quite that easy.
Okay.
But
That seemed like a nice idea. I was like, well, if next time I get a pomegranate, I'll look this video back up and try it.
It is. And then some people say like to put it underwater or do it underwater. Then I saw some people doing that way with the top, but then I saw some people cutting them in half. I saw people spanking them with wooden spoons.
Oh, I've seen that where you open up. Yeah, you just hit it and just knock all the
I
things.
did that. It just made a big mess.
Okay.
But
I've seen that
that's
too.
I think it's just, it's probably personal preference and your patience level. But
Your patience will be rewarded.
Yeah, your patience will be rewarded.
I really need to get out to Trader Joe's. I mean, it's like they've got a lot of stuff. They do have a lot of things and stuff there, and especially this time of year, they do always like a lot of fun holiday things. Like, did they do the is it the Christmas Kringle, the holiday Kringle? Did they do that thing?
It's the almond. Yeah, that's the one that usually. And we had gone out for a couple of days, and thought the world was going to come to an end. But
Do people actually get upset about some of those things?
well, yeah,
well, not upset.
If they don't
like,
get it. Yeah.
get frustrated.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Today, did the Kringle come in? Actually, yesterday. Did the Kringle come back? And it did. We got like a pallet of Kringle. So, but
You should just have them out at the front door.
yeah, hand them out to people as you come in. I did buy, and I have one from last year too. That's another thing we could do if I don't wind up drinking it. I have a vintage ale from last year, a 2022, and
okay.
I bought one from this year as well.
Oh, okay.
It actually had been on a quality hold for a short period of time. We had a big display of it. We had to
Current
pull it
year or
off.
last year?
The current year.
Oh, okay.
And
Was that one of the ones that was exploding?
No, that was not exploding.
Oh, okay.
We did get the triple ginger brew in again this year too, but it's not in the cool bottle with the.
I love the triple ginger brew.
It's with like just a metal cap.
That one's such a good one,
So-
though. That is definitely a favorite. Like if you're going to make some ginger beers, and if you're making some some mules of any kind, of whiskey
With the
mule
heat.
or vodka mule or anything like that. That is, that
Yep.
one's just got just the right amount of little extra kick.
Sweet and
there.
heat.
Yeah, you need that little extra heat. But yeah, no, this is still a couple bucks, $1.50.
Yeah, I think it was 169, 169, 179. So yeah,
Does it come just in singles? Or
single cans.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. I didn't know if it was like you could buy a six. Like I know you could buy 6 of them, but does it come?
No, it comes in
Naturally
a case of 24.
Oh, okay. Just comes in a flat or whatever. Okay.
Same as the spritzer.
same as the spritzer.
Same as the
And that
spritzer.
one's kind of winding down too, right?
We still have a lot of that though too, but yeah, it will. All of a sudden it'll be. I said this to one of my coworkers the other day. I've been February will be 19 years I've been with Trader Joe's.
Man.
So this is my 19th Christmas. It amazes me every year all of the candy and the cookies and stuff that comes in, and you think we're never going to go through all this, but you do. And all of a sudden people are like, oh, no, we're out of that. Oh, that's not shipping anymore. That's done. And then all of a sudden, I mean, there are some stragglers, the things that don't sell quite as well, but yeah, it's crazy.
Speaking of anniversaries, I'll be slightly vague, but speaking of anniversaries, it was funny. If I don't know, are you on LinkedIn at all?
I am not. Pocket is.
So
and our son.
Yeah, so I am on LinkedIn in some fashion. Like I said, I haven't updated a little bit. I probably should go and look at that anyway. But anyway, they every once in a while still, like, I'll get an email that, like, this person's talking about that. Like, it's just like people must have posted something and then they're trying to get conversation going and whatever else. But sometimes they post about anniversaries and things. I got a reminder of, you should congratulate this person on their anniversary with this company.
Okay.
Kind of hard to do that. They're dead.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, kind of hard to do that. So
Okay.
please, people, update your LinkedIn's.
Yeah.
Or the
Don't,
LinkedIn's of the deceased.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was a little bit like, I was like,
It's only.
that's interesting.
I'm thinking of 2 people.
Yeah,
Wait.
we'll talk about it off camera.
Okay. Wow.
But I was
Okay.
just like, okay, like, and it's not like completely LinkedIn's fault, but it's also like,
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
maybe.
On their anniversary. Well,
Yeah, you should congratulate them on X amount of years with such and such company.
Wow.
It's like, I can't do that.
I would like to.
I would like to. That would actually be really nice if I could.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't. They are no longer alive.
Yes.
But on a happier note, apparently you were very excited. You've got some shows you've been watching. I've actually also started watching a show, but mine's not as exciting. So we'll start with the.
I don't know if it's not as. I don't know if it's not as exciting. I just
my show's not current.
A lot of times you ask me about stuff, and
hey
I'm
Keith,
like, no.
what are you watching?
Yeah. Nothing. Nothing. We started watching The Bear.
Oh, okay.
It's on Hulu, FX.
I know both of
Hulu.
our sons have watched that, and I know.
Oh, have they
I know-
both? Oh, have they?
I thought Ben
I don't
had.
know if Ben has. Or
Okay,
not.
I know Joseph
Okay.
has like at least the first season, and I know
Yeah.
our
There's
brother
2
has too.
Okay, has he?
Mhm.
Okay, couldn't remember.
Jack Reacher is tomorrow, the 15th. I know you've been marking that on your calendar, Sushi. You've been talking about that one.
That's
I know
a
you're excited.
Movie, right?
It's a
no.
TV show that they have on.
Okay.
That's on not
What's
Netflix.
the
It's
one
on Prime, right?
What's the Tom Cruise movie?
It's also Jack Reacher.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, but they made a TV show with who's actually in that show? Because it's not
Crom Twos. Oh wait,
what?
I changed it from Tom Cruise to Crom Twos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Tom Cruise is actually.
Amazon. Okay.
Tom Cruise is not yet. I'm pretty sure he actually was Alan Rich. Okay, so it's a different person there. But in the movies, I'm gonna look this up right here.
I thought.
I'm pretty sure my brother
There was
is correct
something.
that Tom Cruise was Jack Reacher in the movies. Jack Reacher film starring Tom Cruise and based on Lee Child's novel. Yes. Yeah, played Jack Reacher in the movie. Correct.
Okay.
That was what
Okay.
that was what he
weird,
initially
yes.
thought of as well. That looks delicious. Paco, how's it going? Good to see you. This is Trader Joe's Sparkling Honeycrisp Apple Juice Beverage. And it is good. It is non-alcoholic. We need to keep pointing that out.
It's the color of Budweiser.
I think that might be slightly darker than Budweiser.
Slightly darker though.
I thought kind of champagne-ish, maybe.
Yeah, could be a little more yellow.
Guess I'm
maybe,
going to have to try to get to Trader Joe's this week. I mean, Paco, you've been saying that for weeks because you literally drive by one like twice a day. At some point, you'll actually have to go in, and there's lots of holiday treats and
Kids
cakes
would
and
like
things like that.
would like this sparkling thing. Yes, we have pedophores at Trader Joe's, and one of my coworkers.
They
she's already
they can come within 50 yards of there?
not not
pedoph-
pedophile.
Oh, pedophores.
Pedophore.
Okay.
Petit four.
What is a pedophore, actually?
It's one less than a pedophile.
Oh, my
it's,
God.
It's a dessert, a little like square dessert usually covered in chocolate.
Okay.
Yes, we used to.
So you had me
With
at
the bakery.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Metaphors are yummy. Oh my gosh, there you go, Paco.
There you go.
They're
Time
baby
to pick up
cakes.
some of the, yes, very good. And pick up some of this and some pedophores.
They're itty bitty cakes.
And they are. They're very tiny little squares that you can freeze. And because one of my coworkers, she's like, I've already got 4 in my freezer.
Well, you can't have a 5th.
That's true. Petit four.
Is there a better time of day to go when it's not totally busy? Keith, you would have insight into that.
I think I'm guessing it'll depend. Actually, not guess. It depends from store to store. One of the other stores I worked at had a completely different shopping pattern than the one I'm at now. Nowadays, it's just we're like busy all the time. Late for us, late morning or evening, or no, early morning or evening are the best. You have the best odds, but no matter when you walk in.
So like early morning, like right when you open?
Yeah, right when we open, 8 to 9 is good. And just because, right now we've been quite busy. And I would assume
that time
most
of
of the
year
stores, yeah, but even busier than normal. So.
And then by evening, how late are you guys open? 8?
We're open till 9.
Open till 9.
But especially in our location, which is, more of a... the population is changing. It used to be very much more retired folk.
Okay.
And so there wasn't a lot of activity.
8 a.m. Let's not go crazy here. I mean, that's up to you.
But it's definitely changing. The demographic. That's the word I was looking for. The demographic's definitely changing. We've got a lot more people, so it does stay busy, but later. But it's still at our store will slow down. Usually after 6.
Okay. So there you go. You could go in the evening, like as long as it's kind of like
Yeah.
maybe at dinner time, people aren't thinking
I bet
about
your
going
kids
shopping.
would have a lot of fun. Trader Joe's is a fun place to go.
Just like she finds the one store, it's like, man, everyone in here is angry all the time.
Yeah, angry customer or angry employees.
He's got the angry eyes. So how are you liking it?
It's good. It's pretty kind of intense in some situation, but it's keeping our attention. And we're enjoying it so far.
There's 2 seasons or 3 now?
I think there's 2.
Okay.
There might be. I think a third is
Maybe
coming
they're working
out.
on a third
yeah.
thing. Okay.
But it's kind of cool. The guy
good music, right?
goes back
Good music kind of in it, right?
Some I know and some I don't, but yeah, it is good music. Yeah. Yeah. It's just got, lots of swearing.
Oh, I'm sure.
He said curse
I
word.
mean, that's
it's set in
I hang up.
the restaurant industry. So that's kind of cool because I've been in that for a long period of time.
In and around it for a long time.
And it's set in Chicago and they're making this like Italian beef. And they're always cooking this huge, and it just looks...
Italian beef sandwiches
I'm glad I'm usually
good.
eating dinner while we're watching it because otherwise I'd probably go have a second dinner. So
yeah, Italian beef sandwiches are probably some of my favorite things.
But it looks good.
Part of their feeding therapy is to go to stores and help pick out foods to try. Well, yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of the more excellent places to do it at then too. Exposure of all the possibilities really helps to try and spark their desire to try new things. Yeah, and because of the way, Jesus Christ, Trader Joe's, can you start paying us?
I wish they would.
God damn
well, they do pay me, but
they
not for
pay
this.
you. Start funding our podcast. Because of the way Trader Joe's is organized too, it's not like you have long aisles of the same things. And I know this normally wouldn't be like a positive thing, but for like what Paco's talking about, you've got like multiple different types of treats all within the same area. Whereas you've got little kids be like, okay, look at this. Like, what's interesting, it's not like 5 yards of bread, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you've got things that are more like every aisle kind of has different things.
Yeah.
And especially too, it's kind of more of since it is less of a true supermarket style feel in the way the shelves are and everything else, I think it might make a kid feel a little bit more comfortable, other than, can be, depending on the store, can be a little more crowded. That is only one of the things, because the aisles can sometimes be small. That's why sometimes I don't like, it's like,
and depending on how the store, a lot of times they'll have little kid carts and they can push the little kitty carts and have a little fun.
There you go. TJ's is a great size, and the workers are so nice. Yeah, like I said, I don't think I've ever run into someone that was rude to me at a Trader Joe's.
For the most part, I don't think. Yeah,
they hold it inside at the very least. Let's just say that
we have a special room in the back for the release of anger.
We needed that no matter where you work. Sometimes you need a little bit of I need to go in and yell or something like that. It definitely helps. Yeah. The parking lot is a different story. Yeah, the parking lots can get a little bit crazy as well.
Yeah,
especially don't hit your cart, boy. We've put that up before. Where Keith, when you go out there, you got to make sure you have your vest on.
Have your vest.
Like that,
that's right.
In case you got to throw a flag for the illegal cart hitting.
Let's go to the video.
Also, speaking of Chicago, I was listening to one of my football sports podcasts, and they were talking about they took some relatives that were in town. They went to the Old Navy Pier, and they were talking about that. And then they went down. He went down because he was hungry, so he went down. There was a hot dog stand, so he's like, "Oh, good, they got a Chicago. I'm going to get a Chicago dog." And he gets a Chicago dog. And he said he orders it and just like walks away with it. And he opens it up, and he's like, it's everything else is like cut perfectly the way it should. All the condiments. He's like, and then all of a sudden there was ketchup on it. And he's like, "There's no ketchup on it, dog. What the hell is this?" And he like goes back and he's like, "I'm sorry." He's like, "There's no ketchup on a Chicago dog." And the lady's like, "Oh, well," because it was one of those screens where you could like enter stuff in. She's like, "Well, if you didn't want that on there, you can put right here that like, you don't want that condiment on there." He's like, "I shouldn't have even had to chosen that. That's not supposed to be on there." He's like, "You were ruining." He's like, "Because people come here from out of town." He's like, "They think this now. That's not correct. You can't put this on Chicago dog." Yeah, he was very angry.
One of the episodes of The Bear recently, they were catering at a kid's birthday party, and they had hot dogs, and the one guy says to the other, he's like, "Where's the ketchup?" He's like, "Ketchup?" He's like, "What kind of?" And he puts ketchup on it. He's like, "You don't put ketchup on a hot dog. Who does that?" And then the other guy's like, "Well, little kids do." And but anyway, it was just kind of funny because it was almost that same conversation. Yeah.
My ex said I was a good size, and it didn't overwhelm them.
Whoa.
I mean, I think that's okay, RX.
Petit four.
They had delicious petit fours at my dad's bakery. Well, it wasn't his bakery, but he was there 35 years. It practically was. If he'd only been there 36, it would have been his bakery. He would have been fully vested. He chose to leave early. Yeah, the parking lot can be a little bit difficult. Have you been watching anything else, or is that what you've...
Well, so I watched the holiday movie, The Sure Thing.
That was funny. You asked me that. I did not respond because I was trying to remember. I was like, how much does that play into that?
So this is the whole debate. I don't think, the whole Die Hard debate. I don't think Die Hard's a Christmas movie. I think it's a movie set at Christmas, and that's kind of what The Sure Thing is too. But at least it goes throughout the holiday season.
He's wrong. Oh,
that's fine.
120 calories and 25 grams of sugar. No alcohol. You shut your mouth.
But The Sure Thing is also then set, pretty much all set during the Christmas break, because he's going out to going out to California. Anthony Edwards isn't as funny, but I have
to see. Would you say so? My argument always with Die Hard is that the reason that movie like even happens, and the reason all those things can happen, is because Christmas needed to be there. Like that holiday brings that many people together, brings all this. So would you say The Sure Thing meets that criteria? Then I would probably.
I don't think it happens at that time because it's.
Does it need to be Christmas for it to happen? Or could it just be summer break?
It could have been. I guess it could have been summer break.
I'm just
summer
asking.
break. Summer break's a lot longer though.
That's
summer
true.
Summer break's months.
Right.
So could have been a break of some sort of 2-week period maybe.
All right.
But
that's always the thing. Yo, Berserker, how's it going? Good to see you.
That's good. It was. I enjoyed. I hadn't watched it in a few years, but
was it just on TV and you watched
No,
it?
I have. I bought it.
Oh, nice.
I remember. So I actually looked it up on Amazon. I bought it in 2017, and the day
the plastic was still on it.
I bought it on the 10th. No, I've watched it.
Oh, okay.
And I figured, I was like, I may have watched this exactly 6 years ago, just by looking at it. But I was like, I'm gonna watch The Sure Thing. So I did.
That's a good one. I love that movie.
That. Well, and I also sent Ben a clip because his buddy Nick. There's the scene in there where he's like, "You can't name the kid Elliot." He's like, "It's a kid that eats paste." He's like, "No." He's like, "You gotta name him Nick. You gotta give him a real name, Nick."
Nice.
And so I just like I did I filmed that part with you. I'd filmed that and I sent that to Ben. So
Kivo, how's it going? Good to see you. Or good evening or afternoon. Kind of
right on the cusp.
Yeah, we're on the cusp there. I would say
either one will work. So.
Come on, Dad. One more year, for goodness sake. Exactly. One more year. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I knew I liked you, Berserker. I knew I liked you. I get your point that it is not a family fun Christmas movie. What you think of as that. Like we watched Elf as we were putting up, doing the tree trimming the other day.
That's right.
So like I get that.
Yeah.
It's almost 5 o'clock here, Kivo. Like I said, so I get that, but it's like, it's that because it needs that to be. Like it's,
but that doesn't make it a Christmas movie.
I would have given it to The Sure Thing if you'd have said that was integral to it. Like I said, if it's integral to the plot of the movie.
But I don't think
Sure Thing is Home Alone a Christmas movie?
Well, yeah.
Because it's integral to the plot of the movie.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Well, maybe it's not. No, it is.
Yeah,
But it's a Christmas because
I
there's
just changed your mind on Home Alone.
yeah. No, maybe you had me going the other way.
My God, that was pretty funny. Have you taken a taste of the bevy yet? Yes, we have. It is non-alcoholic. It is the sparkling Honeycrisp apple juice from Trader Joe's. It's very good. Like I said, it's a little bit different of an apple juice flavor because it is the Honeycrisp apple. 70% juice, I think, in there too, which I was kind of shocked at to see. Yeah,
Because it's got water.
Contains 70% juice, which is, like I said, that's actually kind of impressive. But yeah, no, it's
and
good.
30% carbonation.
Ooh, no, wait a minute. It's very carbonated. 25 grams of sugar. So yeah, a little bit extra on the sugar, but non-alcoholic as well. So if you're looking for any of those kind of beverages, do you guys have any of the teas still around? Like the ones that we had on the podcast?
Not the rosé.
The rosé one was delicious.
We have the white.
I finished that like a couple days later. I was like, damn, this was good.
I have a bottle of each of those at the house.
Yeah.
But I think we still have the white one.
If you're looking for non-alcoholic stuff, it was
good.
Absolutely excellent.
But yeah, so when I was looking, we have a drawer with movies. I don't have a wall of movies.
Yeah.
And I pulled that out.
Not a crazy person.
I was looking for that because I remember watching that movie at Christmas, and it takes place around Christmas. So I was like, watch this. And while I was in there, I came across another movie that I decided to watch.
A Christmas story.
I haven't seen in a long time. Not a Christmas movie.
Oh, okay. Oh, not a Christmas movie.
Not a Christmas movie.
Die Hard 2.
You'll never get it. No.
Oh.
Yeah. Die Hard. Yeah.
Watch Die
Not a
Hard.
Christmas movie. Defending Your Life.
So it's so funny that you mentioned
I watched that.
I almost watched it's on HBO, it's on Max, but it's HBO, whatever, Cinemax, like that streaming service. There's a documentary about Albert Brooks, and it's like him talking about his life and movies and stuff like that.
The other thing.
Talking about him and his life, and I haven't watched it yet, but I want to. But we didn't get around to watching that. But so it's funny because that was, and then it was like, if you like this, and then it had Defending Your Life, which I've watched within the last year. God, I love that movie. Did you make it the whole way through?
I watched, because I watched like half of it, and then it was getting a little late because I had watched The Sure Thing, and I was like, I'll finish this up in the morning, or finish this up yesterday, which I did, and no, it's very good. There's just some of the little brains and the I love it, and I'm sure there's the scene at the end where he's talking with Meryl Streep, and because she invites him to stay,
right?
And he's like, I really don't think I should. He's like, I'm tired of defending my life. But he starts to say, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
But it's so very subtle.
Yeah.
But and then that's what they use. They use that clip. I want to show. But it's the Past Lives Pavilion and But it's just
who is it that's
good.
ahead of that? Because she always believes, like she always.
Shirley MacLaine.
Shirley MacLaine. That's it. Yeah, that's just so clever.
But it's very good.
That movie is excellent. Like I said, now between that and Lost in America, and he's just got a few that are really good.
I need to watch.
I used to follow. I swear I follow him on Twitter, but I haven't seen him doing much lately.
I need to. And I watched a couple more episodes of Better Call Saul.
Oh, nice.
I'm in the middle of season 3 is where I'm at right now.
Okay.
They just had the trial where Chuck was trying to get him disbarred.
Oh,
but that was a great episode. That almost took entirely in place in that courtroom there.
Which part? Which one? What else? What happened during the trial?
He had the battery.
Okay, I thought it was that one. But I want to say, you're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the battery slipped into his pocket.
Yeah.
And
because he has the world's largest pickpocket. Do the swap for.
Oh yeah.
Just finished watching the first season of the Halo TV series on Paramount. It was so good. Can't wait for season 2 in February. I would actually chime in on Sushi's comment as well. Is it enjoyable if you don't play Halo, which I have not really played much of either? I've kind of heard mixed reviews because there's a lot of Master Chief taking his helmet off, which again is no longer against terms of service here on Twitch. Apparently,
what's that?
They're Twitch yesterday had they've done some new terms of service, changing things. So now you can do what now that the new fun tag people are doing is artistic nudity.
Oh,
so if you're doing body paint, there was stuff that kind of people had been banned for and other things like that. And so now they're kind of trying to open up some of their guidelines and do things. So now you can be a little bit more artistic with your nudity, I suppose.
We won't have any of that here.
No, I don't think so. I mean, that might be some. If there's something above the Keith Flex redemption, we could talk about it.
We're gonna be talking. Well, then I could probably get in trouble for that, but we're gonna be talking cash if that's no channel points.
Cash. It doesn't just go to the general About Beverages fund. It goes directly to Keith. So we'll work on that. I think so. It was extra enjoyable for me because I saw how they told the story of the games and kind of where we are in the world. But I believe it would be all right. I will definitely. I need to. There's a bunch of stuff I need to give a chance to. But for some reason, I always have trouble not going back to the classics. So after we watched, as we were trimming the tree, we watched Elf last weekend, and then my wife and I, we were like I said, we were enjoying some bourbon, which we're going to enjoy in a little bit too. Yes. We're having some bourbon, and we decided. She's like, "Oh, do you want to watch something else? A series?" Because we're almost done with Frasier again for the 5th time. Wow. We've got like 3 more episodes I think left. It's already my favorite ones with Laura Linney in there. Laura Linney. But I said, oh, it's on a streaming service. Started watching Mary Tyler Moore from the beginning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who can turn the world on with a smile? What's that on?
Hulu.
Oh, okay. I have Hulu.
Yeah.
And does it have all the? Sometimes Hulu's weird. They don't have all the episodes of stuff.
I hope so. When I initially searched for it, I basically was like, "Where can you stream?" And it said Hulu has all 7 seasons or whatever. Something. I was like, "Okay." So we watched like 4 episodes or something like that. But it's good. It's amazing how much of that stuff still is funny and holds up and all that kind of what works and that kind of thing. And just kind of even how like in a way how progressive that show was too. You think about 1970 when that came out, right?
Mary Richards.
Single and on her own, like working in the newsroom, male-dominated newsroom, and that kind of, that whole scenario. Like, so they, it's James Burrows, so he knows what he's doing.
Wow, he was in that too, man.
Yeah, that name popped up, and I was like, this guy did like pretty much all the shows. Right. Exactly. That's the very first episode. You got Spunk. I hate Spunk. He's like, Mary, what's the kid doing here in this newsroom? I really want to swear, but I can't swear if the kid's here. So I should get rid of the kid. Yes, because I want to swear. Then they give the list to Ted Knight of the words he's mispronounced. And he's like, take a look at the top one, Lou. Chicago. That he mispronounced the word Chicago. I don't know if this is telling, but I've gotten 2 dawning mementos and 6 gifts of returning, liking the drop rate. I hope that is the drop rate. We'll find out a little bit more of that on Friday. I know you were asking me that on Twitter, and I did not have the full answer. So we were watching that, which was kind of fun. Nice. And then talked about it a little bit during the week. We opened up then Disney Plus and saw that they had the last and the newest Indiana Jones movie was on there, The Dial of Destiny.
Okay.
Which I was kind of like, when I was in the theater, I was like, I mean, I like Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Like, I think she's funny. Like, I like her. I haven't finished it, but she has that show Fleabag that was on. I know our niece loved that show quite a bit. And she's, like I said, she's really good. She does a lot of writing and stuff. But yeah, I was like, like it's the same thing. It's like old Indiana Jones, old Liam Neeson. Like, it's like I don't need them in my action movies anymore. Like at some point. But I was like, all right, it's free. Let's give it a shot. It's supposed to be the last one. We'll give it a shot. Trademarked. And to be honest, so it was better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That's a low bar. So it was better than that, but like not better than anything. And like still, I think in the movie there's a kernel of a good movie in there. Like there's some good ideas. The way some things wrapped up, I was like, that's a neat idea for an Indiana Jones movie. It was kind of classic. They do. I don't think if it's more than one. It's very extended at the beginning, but you know how like the last like few years they've been trying to do the like, oh, we're making this person look younger, and they're actually playing themselves. Like when they did an Ant-Man, when they had Michael Douglas was playing like his younger self. Did you ever see the original Ant-Man?
Yeah.
And they do like they do the 3D effects. You're like, hey, that's pretty good. Like it's not great, It's not. So they had a huge flashback thing at the beginning here, which sets up the rest of the movie of him looking for this Dial of Destiny or whatever. But it's him infiltrating the Nazi, so it's very, Raiders of the Lost Ark / Last Crusade. Phenomenal. I could have watched an entire movie with him looking like young Indiana. Like it was crazy. And I don't say and I have a good TV, like I said, so I would have noticed like if it had been like something would have been like it looked outstanding. So I don't know if it's just because he's played that character so many times. They have that older footage. He's such a famous actor. They just have so many good screen and ways to make, and just took the time, or Lucasfilm just is a wizard or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. If you do nothing else, just watch like the first 20 minutes of that movie. If you have HBO Max, I thought it looked, the only thing that was the uncanny valley is they talk about where it's like it gets so close that then it almost doesn't seem right. Have you heard that phrase before?
No.
Yeah, it's like something, it's like, you're like, oh, that's good. And then you get so close to it actually being perfect that it actually looks worse because you've gotten to this point of, so the only thing that was a little uncanny valley is that the voice coming out is older 81-year-old more gravelly Harrison Ford.
Yeah. Okay.
And they probably tried to tune it a little bit. I don't know if they could have done anything else. So that was the only bit that was a little bit off. But looking at it, seeing him in the scenes, the lighting on it, I was literally like, oh my God, this is insane.
Wow.
Like I said, I could have watched the whole movie like that. Like, and what they did with him, like the story kind of falls apart in a few different things. The thing I also love about Indiana Jones movies is, and obviously Raiders of the Lost Ark is definitely top 15, might even be top 10 movie all time. I just love that movie to death. Is you feel like you're going to all those locales. It's the globe trotting of it all. You're going to these foreign, at least to me, foreign countries that I'm not familiar with. You feel like, because they were actually there at these places. This, unfortunately, it is probably 80% CGI. Like they walk out and you can just tell it's like, well, that's not a real background. Like it looks fine, but you can just tell. Some things probably would have been impossible, but some things, like even when they might have been on a location, I doubt they did very many. The camera shots, the directorial choices, it seemed like everything was very close up, which made it felt like some movies you want that intimacy, but like it just felt like too close and too intimate. Like you were trying to hide that there wasn't anything behind them or something, again, like, it was sad because, like, again, I think there was an idea for a good movie in there and good pieces were in it. And this is the last one because they were basically throwing everyone at the screen because what's his name? The guy that played Sala is in it. He's got a little cameo in it for like two different parts.
And then he dies.
He doesn't. He lives, thankfully. Spoilers. He lives. He wasn't in it very much, but he was there just to say hello a couple times. And then the woman that plays Marion,
Karen
Allen, she was also in it at the very end too.
Well, she was in Crystal Skull.
She was,
too.
Yeah. So like I said, she got to kind of be in it. So they kind of wrapped all
Shia
that stuff
LaBeouf,
up.
Was he in it?
Thank God, no. Actually, in fitting way, again, sorry about the spoilers. There's a little speech where Harrison Ford is like, basically, he went off to war and died.
Oh, wow, okay.
Because Phoebe Waller-Bridge asks him about, she asked him about something, because the whole dial of destiny is that there's actually, Archimedes figured out a way to go back in time. Like, not that he figured out through mathematics that you could actually calculate that there are rifts in everywhere across the world. And you can, if you find where those rifts are, they take you mathematically back to certain pieces in time. And so in knowing all the math in this device, you could set it to like, hey, like, obviously it was the Nazis. So they're like, oh, we want to go back to 1939 and we're going to rewrite the mistakes, like the general idea of it. So I was like, okay, and so they said back, we want to go to here and here and here, and you calculate it. And then it's like, oh, you can go through this rift.
The dial of destiny.
Right. And so like, that was like the whole thing. And, it was like, so it was interesting. Like I said, that stuff was kind of good and where they were getting to. It was also funny because at one point as the movie was going on and then all of a sudden that was about to happen, I was like, I thought this movie was about to end. Like, there's more? Like it was and there wasn't a lot more, but it was a little bit shocking for a second. But yeah, like I said, I think they did a good job. I just wish there would have been, like I said, maybe even more of young Indiana Jones, I guess, or something. But it really made it, as soon as we were done, I was like, I want to watch Raiders of the Lost Ark right now because that movie's just so good. That's just a classic. And I almost thought they were going to recreate something. There was a moment where I don't know if Indiana Jones had a gun on him, but all of a sudden there was someone with like a knife. And I was like, are they going to do where he just shoots him with it? That did not happen. So
was Short Round in it?
No, that would have been good because they've kind of had that. That would have been nice.
Bring everybody back.
Yeah, they should. I mean, because they kind of.
Kate Capshaw. What's her name?
Oh, yeah.
It was like a guy's name.
From Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was kind of, wasn't it?
What was her name?
Anything goes. I just remember that song from the beginning.
Willie.
That's right.
Willie.
One-Eyed Willie. Oh, wait, that's Goonies. Kate Capshaw's a pirate. Should we have some bourbon?
I think we should.
Okay.
How are we going to do this? We're going to bring them all in here?
Yeah, I think we bring them all in at once, right?
Yep. Sounds good.
All right. So as we said before, we've got a podcast kind of 3 years in the making. We are going to bring together 3 bourbons. They are from Trader Joe's. They are
Actually,
foolproof.
this way.
Is that way? Well, no, that would be like 4, wouldn't it be?
No, this is 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
But if you're in Europe, it's 1, 2, 3.
This is like the sign language 3, and also the NFL.
No, that's Van Buren boys.
Oh, that's this.
So we have, in some form, we have 3. We have 3 high-proof, foolproof bourbons from Trader Joe's. They are, we'll talk a little bit more about all this stuff as we're like literally sipping. It's going to kind of be a free-form podcast for the most part. They started in 2021. We have the 2022. We have the 2023. Yep. So basically, since its inception, we have a little bit of each one of those. And we're going to try them all, see if there's any difference, see how consistent it was the whole way through. The one thing that is consistent is the labeling is almost exactly the same. Yep. We're trying to get the bottles not mixed up. Thankfully, there's a number on the back that denotes that difference. Also, exactly 125 proof on every single one of them. And again, the bourbons are believed to be, they're believed for sure by the larger group Sazerac, which then also owns Buffalo Trace and Barton Distilleries. Depending on where you search on the internet, I've found different articles. Some say it's Buffalo Trace's mash bill of things and their proof. Some say it's Barton Distilleries, which does 1792's bourbon, if you're familiar with that. We've tried some of those on the show. Like I said, we'll get into the weeds on that a little bit more as we're drinking, as much as we can remember, depending on which glass we're into at the time. But yeah, so that is what we're going to try next. And yeah, it'll probably take us a few extra minutes because we got to pour multiple glasses for us.
Big bottles. Or are we just going to pour and then come in?
Yeah, we'll just pour them all in there.
Not bring the bottles. Okay, all right.
We can bring one of the bottles.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We don't need to be like absolutely ridiculous about it. I am realizing now, though, that I took a picture. I did not actually put up for the graphic. So you guys are going to see me put up a graphic here in a little bit too. Because I'm very proud of the picture I took.
Yeah, it's good. Good shot.
So yeah, so we'll do that too. So anyway, we'll be right back. Castle in the Snow by the Beach. No, I'm just kidding.
This is what you call supplies?
This is your 3 days worth of supplies. I mean, I don't know what actually more we would need here, but thank you guys for hanging out. Appreciate you all being here. It is time. Well, first of all, it is time that I actually need to get the graphic properly done because I made mistakes and forgot to set this up. Before the podcast, because I took a nice picture of all 3 bottles that we were doing, and then I did not put it up. Yep. Let's see if we.
Now, can people actually see the red and the blue lines?
No.
Okay.
Nope. That is for my eyes only.
Right. For your eyes only.
Red means that's the thing I'm working with when I move around. Blue means there's another object there, so that's obviously different graphics.
Okay.
So that's what that. That's what that means. All right. So. Let's see if this actually works. Take care of
yourself. You belong to me.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no. I
where was that going?
Baker hasn't chimed in at all, but I don't know if she remembers watching The Sure Thing back when I lived at the house years and years ago. Last year. No. Yeah. There's the song when Tim Robbins and the girl he's with, they're singing the show tunes. And they button up your overcoat and mom. When
they got the hitchhiking in the car, right? Yeah.
Take good care of yourself. You belong to me. Don't eat meat. Ooh. Don't eat sweets. Ooh.
That took a turn. We're actually going to do the sweet portion. We're going to be having some sweets here in a little bit as well.
Yeah. Okay.
We've got water. We've got many things here. Like I said, a little bit of an unorthodox kind of podcast, but also something we just really wanted to do and kind of go through, and the opportunity presented itself. So let's see how this actually looks.
Next year's will be,
that's not bad.
Oh, that does look good.
Does look good.
Next year's will be 4 years in the making, but that first bottle might fall off by the time.
I think it probably will, because it is already about half of what is here.
Yeah.
So we've got the 2021, we've got the 2022, we've got the 2023. These are the only options when it comes to Trader Joe's high proof bourbon in a series right now. So there's no year that we have missed. So this is a vertical tasting of 3 different high proof bourbons. As I mentioned before, they are known for sure to be Sazerac, which is the very much larger overarching brand that owns a lot of different brands under that bourbon whiskey wise. And then it basically comes down to it's either Buffalo Trace or it could be Barton Distilleries, which is 1792. We're a little bit familiar with 1792 because we've had their full proof before. I don't know if we podcasted on that, but I know we've shared that at some point. We've had their regular small batch. And then Barton Distilleries is also the Kirkland one that we like so much.
Yeah.
So they do get around a little bit. So it could very well be that one. Or it could be Buffalo Trace in one of their things. This is believed to be around 6 to 8 years in age.
I was wondering if there was an age statement. Okay, 6 to 8. Okay.
Again, a lot of these things are kind of speculation and guesses. So if this is Barton, this could be very similar. I wish I had some of their full proof. That would be very interesting because that would have been a similar proof. Could have been the exact same thing. And that one is aged, I believe, maybe slightly more, I think is what people are saying. I think that one's closer to 8 to 9 years, but anyway, again, if you guys know anything else about this, have heard about this, like I said, if you're watching this up on YouTube, after we've put up this full video, you're more than welcome to comment below your thoughts, suggestions, all those kinds of things. But
maybe they just kept taking it out of the same vat, but it wouldn't be the same because until you take it out of the wood, it's continuing to change. So
that is true. Once it sits in the bottle, it is not changing anymore.
Right.
How do you want to go about it? Do you want to like sniff all three of them and then kind of start tasting 1, 2, 3 kind of thing?
I think that sounds good.
Okay. But yeah, very informal. If you guys want, like I said, any other questions you guys may have, or anything else randomly you guys want to talk about, could be Destiny, could be movies, other holiday movies you guys are all watching. Do you have movies? Do you have movies around the holidays that it's like this? I have to, like every year I have to watch this. Like I said, for us, like I said, it does usually wind up being Elf. It winds up being Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and a lot of the Rankin Bass, old timey ones.
Charlie Brown Christmas.
Like I said, a lot of those kinds of things. Your diehards, as we mentioned earlier. Of course, I have to mention that one.
Sure thing.
The Sure Thing. Yeah, exactly. All of those, like I said, being in there. But yeah, I don't know if anyone else has, or doesn't have to be Christmas. I don't know.
Sports, we can talk about that super awesome football game that's probably about to start soon.
Oh my gosh. I hope the Raiders and someone is playing.
The Chargers.
All
these quarterbacks.
I don't know if that one matters. I know the Rams are one of the, like, if you're a Bears fan, you're looking at a lot of stuff. More lyrics, something like, you'll get a pain
and ruin your tum-tum. That's right. That's right.
That's funny. It's going to take me a little bit to get specific. They definitely do smell different. Now, if we want to be completely fair and completely open and honest, this bottle here in the middle, which is 2022, I just opened this one today. So that one might come across a little more alcohol, like might have a little bit more of that in it. Obviously, you've had yours open for a while. This 2023 has been open for a little bit. Like these are probably, that one even more so, but this one definitely is probably like at its, it's the best it's going to get. Like I said,
the mellow best it's going to get. Yes.
And I've also heard too, like obviously you've had that one open for a little while. I've heard a lot of talk about like, how much, because I was always concerned, like a lot of times there's some bottles that I've had that I really want to drink, but I haven't opened them yet because they're hard to find. And I'm like, God, as soon as I open it, do I feel like I need to get it, drink it? I can't savor it, that kind of thing. Seems like most people in the whiskey world, obviously you are always going to subtly start losing a little bit of nuance, but overall people are talking about like 2 to 3 years having a bottle open is not a big deal at all. Okay. So like I said, if that is something you're ever concerned about with, having a few different things open, or I feel like, again, that only applies to, like I said, again, into bourbon, like higher proof spirits, those kind of things. I don't know your finer vodkas, if that changes at all, but
that one bottle of the $15 Trader Joe bourbon I've had open for going on 4 years now.
You should buy one of those. There's those keggings. Have you seen that where you can actually buy a small oak barrel and you can pour in a bottle of something you like and try? Yep. You should try that. Maybe you can make it more safe. Yeah. I do have, I can't remember, if we ever wound up trying it. Literally one of our early podcasts, we did a thing on vodka and I bought a bottle of the Crystal Head vodka. I still have half of that bottle.
That's right. I remember that. Yeah.
That is like 13 or 14 years old.
Ooh,
they're very different, aren't they? Might be easier if just as I smell. So I was getting out of some of these, because I can't remember if I had the 2023 like earlier last week or something like that. I'm getting it in a little bit of all. I'm getting a little black tea.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little note of that in all of them.
Smoke in one of them.
I think the middle one smells more like candied fruit. Like
there was like a sweet.
Yeah, like a candied ginger, that kind of thing. little more spice and alcohol, surprisingly, in the 2021. And I get a little bit more wood aroma in the 23.
Old wood says it best.
What do I say? And we're also, as we start to sip these, Keith was kind enough to bring the Trader Joe's sea salt dark chocolate caramel, which are always a favorite. So we'll be having some of those too to kind of.
Yeah, the 1 year we had the bourbon caramels at the store. We don't have those anymore.
No,
there's certain things don't come back. Some things didn't even come back this year, like our cherry cordials. Those didn't come back. Those might be back next year, but you never know. Never know.
You never know. Yeah, what do you think? Are you getting anything else out of? I think the middle one, I get more of that sweet, and I get the black tea in there the most out of that one. Like, there's something that reminds me of, like, actually almost a little bit. Remember when we used to actually get the decaf for those with the ethyl acetate? So it was the fruit juice derivative, and you'd get that kind of sweet. That's almost what I'm getting. That's almost what I'm getting out of that one. Is like it's that sweet kind of tea aroma, which is really nice. I like that.
Oh yes, the EA.
And more like wood, like charred. Like
good old 18641. We'll have one of those wooden crates in my garage.
It's amazing what sticks with you. Like I said, obviously, I'm not going to give away any recipes, but like the other day, for some reason in my head, I thought of something, and then I just started in my head trying to think of everything that I could remember from blends to mount. And I was like, I was surprised. Like just now, I was like, I literally had to stop my brain. Like I was just like,
we somehow it came up the other day at work, the Kevin Bacon, the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon game. And I was remembering that we went through a short period of time, you and Rich and I, we were doing that. And that was fun.
Yeah.
It was good memories, good times.
A lot of good times. 21 probably has the least amount of aroma going on.
Yeah, it's lighter in a way. It's weird, but lighter. Mm-hmm. Almost a little cola in the 23. And then I do agree with you. There's a sweet fruit, more
cola
fruit.
Is a good call.
Candied something, and a little fruit, a little tea.
Which one do you think initially do you like the best, or where would you rank them right now if you were smelling them? Like what order do you like them in? I think I like 2, 3, 1. Yeah.
Might go 3, 1, 2, but I like them all.
Yeah, they're all, and I'm glad that they all at least smell different. I was kind of worried that I was like, well, with how good they can be with production, they might get very similar. I mean, with
the label being exactly the same,
and the proof being and it not even saying, up or down by a little bit.
Yeah, and it not I know it does on the bottle, but it not saying like on the label 2023 edition or something like that.
Yeah.
No, the only way I was like, this can't be coming out of the same vat.
Yeah, literally the only way you can tell is that. On the very bottom, the like serial number or whatever, basically there is something that obviously denotes if it's 21, 22, 23. So.
Yeah, I haven't had, the only one I've had actually is the 2021. I didn't have the 22 or the 23. So this is
this would be very new for you then. I have not had the 22 for sure in a little while. Because like I said, once that one emptied, he hit the other closet. I'm having to do that.
Keep them in the closet.
Yeah.
All right.
Michael Jackson?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What did he want to keep in the closet?
I think it was Naomi Campbell.
Oh, okay. Good amount of spice, some heat.
Still that spice and a little bit. It used to be more apple and pie and spice. Now it's more like almost butter and spice or caramel and spice.
Maybe like popcorn, like a candy corn or not candy corn.
A little bit of spice.
God, no one would want candy corn. Like a kettle corn was what I was trying to say. Those are the words.
Yeah,
like a kettle corn kind of thing. Yeah, that's good. Whew. That's good. I would like initially the usual comment. Like I said, you're probably going to mention body.
I wasn't going to yet.
Okay. But not bad though on that. Like it's got a little viscosity to it. I didn't even really look at
colors almost.
I guess the color is probably almost exactly the same. Microbes, how's it going? Good to see you. About the same?
Yeah.
Close enough.
Oh, they're the same.
A tea note really comes through there.
Yeah, definitely. You can tell you just opened it today.
There's a little more
spice.
Has
more of that heat.
Yeah, a little bit more to that. A little more on the front, a little more spice on there.
A little more body there, I think.
I would say so. Yeah, it seems like there's a little more coating of the tongue.
Yeah,
that's good though. I'm surprised that comes
good.
through.
I'll have that.
When the hell did Trader Joe's make whiskey? So the short version of it is obviously they have a lot of Trader Joe's products. A lot of those things they reach out to other companies. They make stuff for like Trader Joe's isn't actually like distilling whiskey in any way. This one in particular that we're trying right now is one that we wound up trying. Obviously, 2021 is the first year that this came out.
Yep.
You were like, "Oh, we're doing this." I was like, "All right, we'll try it. It's $30 or whatever." Wait, this is we don't sell liquor in stores here thing. Is it? Oh, is that one of your things, Micro? So I don't know where you're at, Microbes. Like I said, we're in Southern Arizona. So different Trader Joe's sometimes can do full spirits. Some can do just wine. Some can do beer.
The licensing.
There's licensing things. I know there's also I know East Coast. It's always what the state-run liquor stores.
Oh yeah, all that.
So I don't know how that works with Trader Joe's. I'm sure they have to abide by those rules, right?
Yep.
Same thing.
Yep.
But out here, they actually have several stores that do have full liquor licenses. So they have these things. And one of the options is this high foolproof bourbon that they've had for a little bit. This is believed to be made by Sazerac, which is a larger company above Buffalo Trace or whatever else. Colorado just got wine in stores. Usually wine, and, so not beer though, or just wine. Usually you get both of those things, but different states could be different in that way.
I think with the first, I was just thinking that with the first year this came out, you went down actually to the Campbell store. Right?
I did. I picked up the last. Yeah. Yeah, the first year this came out, Planty, how's it going? Good to see you. The first year this one came out, I remember you're like, oh, I was like, well, okay, we'll try it. And you're like, well, I've heard it might be Buffalo. And then, like, so we're like, oh my God, this is great. I'm like, do you have any more of this? Yeah, I was like, do you have any more of this? And I wound up getting, like I said, a couple more. We were able to get a couple more bottles, but it sold out really quick. And then ever since then, it's basically been, this is the one amazing time. Even more amazing to have your brother working at the store that has something coming. He's like, oh, I'm seeing that it's coming in soon or it's on its way. I'm like, I'll take a case. And then it's been given out to some friends and some other things. But yeah, it's especially for this price.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. And even if it wasn't this price, I would definitely pay more from that. But we finally had 3 of these. We wanted to do a vertical tasting. We thought it'd be fun. So we're kind of going through.
Hi, Planty. I hope you are well. I am well. I hope you are also.
Bevy has an inside man. I do.
Yes.
I do. I'm very lucky.
Yeah, to the,
All right. So the 2 little spicier because we just opened that one.
right.
What else?
Tea.
Yeah, the tea was definitely still there. A little bit of sweet.
Yep.
Were you getting anything else? You said something about fruit or
Not in the aroma at first, but not so much in the taste though.
no. The tea really does come through though.
We went to Winter Haven Saturday.
Oh, yeah, we were talking. Someone was asking me about that today.
If you ever get a chance, and we could actually do it as a family. Heidi and Dean do the party bike.
Okay, so now it'll be interesting here because it was funny. So the person that I got a haircut from today said they were going there, and they had done that last year, and they didn't like it because they said it was only like an hour, and it was
only an hour.
So they were like, and she also said then too, she's like, depending on the side you're on, then like you might see something or might not see something else. Oh, Planty, that's super nice.
Sorry, Noam. Thirsty guy walks into a bar. You finish it.
Aw, Planty, thank you for the gifted sub to Paco. That is super, super kind. Appreciate you, Planty. It was very nice.
You could, you're either on one side or the other. If you want to be sitting in the pedaling, you don't need to pedal. And there's like a bench seat in the back. So like if somebody doesn't want to sit on those seats, you could sit there.
Oh, okay.
Like 2 or 3 people could probably sit at that. But it was, and yes, you're turning around a lot, but that was fine. And it was more just kind of, you're out in the open air.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not against any of that stuff.
They're cranking the Christmas music, and it was kind of funny because the person who's driving, you could bring a beverage. They say no hard alcohol, but she was like, if you have it, I don't want to know. And anyways, nobody did have anything.
Oh man, you should have some spiked hot chocolate there. Come on.
We had hot chocolate,
but didn't have extra hot chocolate.
But the music's cranking, and it was. But when all of a sudden there were a lot of people. It was the first night. Saturday was the first night, and I guess that Heidi and Dean have done this before, and they invited us along. But when the person who's driving, when there's too many people, she goes, "Merry Christmas," and blinks her lights, and so then people part. As opposed to get out of the way or move, it's like you just yell "Merry Christmas."
Wouldn't be the most like merry of things. You're just like, get the hell out of my way!
Get out of my way! Yeah, but it's a little less than an hour. But after about that amount of time on the seats, you're good. But you could easily just walk back because you've parked.
So that's what I was just going to ask. There always used to be like, these are walking times, these are not. Is it only walking stuff now?
I don't know.
It was
walking. It was walking when we were there. So,
all right, number 3.
Yep.
I thought about. I'd wanted to do something like that. We always, at least, as silly as it sounds, like at some point, usually in the next week, everyone's got their lights up and stuff like that. Like that's always used to be one of our like little silly holiday traditions. We would go out one night and just drive around and look at all the lights and stuff like that. And there's a couple houses that are over a little more toward your neck of the woods, but there's one guy that does like literally like the stuff blinks to music. You tune to a certain radio station. And, it's cool. He usually puts a thing outside for like, you can donate to the food bank and stuff like that, which is pretty neat.
But you could have like, I think 6 people on a side. I mean, you could easily, like, depending on how many of our family wanted to go, we could do that.
Yeah. What is it like? Do you rent out the whole thing? Is it like a couple $100 or?
I think we paid per person, and I don't even remember what that price was, but it was definitely a fun experience.
As long as you can go back in or like kind of go like that wouldn't bother me too much because it'd be like nicest going through. And
there's a restaurant over there, kind of off to the side on.
Did you go to Shooters?
It's called that.
Because it's by the radio station.
You park there. Yeah.
I've gone to that Shooters a few times.
Wow, it's been there that long?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I remember taking, like I said, when I was having to do some intern stuff at the radio station when there used to be radio stations.
I'd been there that long.
Oh, yeah. Because I remember I remember having to pick up someone that was injured that was working at the radio station, and they wanted to go there first because they were having a drink and a sandwich, and then I took them to the radio station for their shift. I was like,
wasn't there a place called Kent's Auto or something there?
It used to be.
I always remember thinking of Kent.
Yeah, that used to be in that area too. That used to be more at the front because Shooters kind of like.
A little bit. But okay. We didn't realize it'd been there that long. So that's since the 90s. Then.
Did you go have something to eat there and then?
No, we'd already had a little something, and then we had something when we got home. We weren't sure how it worked out, what the plan was.
That was with the person that got my haircut. She's like, oh yeah. She's like, we go eat there and then we just leave our cars there and walk over or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it was a good idea. All right.
Guardian down, hail, hail, the gang's all here, the more you know. If a service dog without a person approaches you, it means the person is down and in need of help. Follow the dog and you'll get a free purse or wallet. Wow. Free purse or wallet. Damn, Guardian down. How's it going? Cheers to you. We're having some foolproof bourbon. We'll claim it's in your honor. Sorry, I'm late making dinner. What are you making tonight for dinner, Planty? What's everyone else having for dinner? Make us hungry. We got to figure out what we're going to eat after this, too.
So you've had this one, or is it just
this one?
Yeah,
this one I've had within the last couple of weeks.
Okay,
like I poured myself.
I don't know if it's just Litha who's had this.
No, I've had some throughout the bottle. I've had it as recent as a couple, like about a week ago. I don't do the taller pours. I do multiple smaller pours. Like I like to try different things all at the same time and see how they. Yeah, I think you and I are similar people like that. It's like. There's ones I like, but it's still at the same time. So I was like, oh, and a little bit of that. Oh, no, a little bit of that one. And then,
I had the
work your way up in proof sometimes is nice too.
I had the Boulevardier, and then I had a Manhattan, and then I just had just a tiny sip. I still have some of that double oak that
double oak is so good, though.
And it was very good.
Kids are having hot dogs. I'd offer you one, Bevy, but would be afraid you would try and sit on it and not eat. Oh, my God. So here's the thing. I don't know how you cook your hot dogs, but I'm not that loose. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. As much as you'd want to see it, it's not going to happen. Roasting pork loins, potato, fried some mushrooms.
Okay.
Fried some mushrooms on purpose, or was that by accident? You're like, I left them on the stove. Also, we liked. I showed Keith the picture that you put in the Discord of the decanter that you have. For when like if Keith and I ever come to visit, we'll know that the good wine has been poured and we'll know the proper decanter. That sounds yummy. The roasted pork loins or the hot dog? Because microbes, you got to be more specific on that one. I also sometime would like to. I think it would be neat. There's a bourbon podcast that I watch, and it's like I don't know if it's a dad and his son or stepson or something like that. Anyway, now I want to go make some fries. Fries sound good right now. Debating if I want to make the mushroom gravy. Mushroom gravy is always delicious, especially that probably would go well with the pork loin. And they do a lot of things like best bourbons. They'll do a blind tasting of bourbons like under $40 or 40 to 50. Like they'll do kind of like a range.
Oh, okay.
That would be interesting if like I could find certain ones and then just have like lithopour, like say 4 different ones that like we have no idea what they are.
Yep.
And like then just like us like try those and be like, let's
pick one.
like and see if like some of the ones that I think are my favorites, maybe they're really not my favorites when I compare them to other things or for
well,
any
we
of us
talked
or whatever.
about even just going to your stash there, just picking 4.
I mean, you could do that too.
And just saying,
I don't
see what
my range isn't
maybe
too big there where it wouldn't be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I don't have like something that's like $20 and something that's like 200.
That one's got the heat.
That one does have a little bit more, and that one definitely has been open for a little while. Definitely get the oak, the char.
Yeah.
In that one, just very classic, amped up kind of bourbon flavors. There's brown sugar in there. There's maybe even a little butterscotch. And then it's just like really hitting with, like I said, and then even like that wood and like a little bit of leather and kind of things. Not quite leather and lace. It's not that, but it's.
Give to me your leather.
If I give you diamonds and pearls. Oh, different song entirely. So on the first pass through, what are your thoughts in general on?
See, I think I like the first one.
Interesting. Okay.
This one might be my least favorite. The third one.
Interesting.
The 2023.
Off topic, but do we know what the Nightfall drop is this week? I don't. Last week, I think it was the loaded question because I got one of those. But honestly, I haven't looked because I didn't do a Nightfall this week. Guarding down. Oh, is it the hand cannon? Okay. Thank you, Berserker.
Haircut.
Or it's haircut. It's either hand cannon or haircut. No. Hand cannon. What is it? It's that double tap one or whatever, the pulse 2-shot burst one or whatever. What was that they brought back? Whichever one that is. No need to farm. You're like, I'm out. You're safe, but you could farm the Dawning though. Do you think you like the first one? Interesting. Is it just the mellowness of it? Do these others two frighten you?
It could. No, they don't frighten me, but it could be that. I don't know. I actually.
Oh, it's the bow. Never mind. There you go. Not Warden's Law. That's the name of the other one. I was just going to ask, what are you going to? You want to cleanse some palate before we go back to the again?
Have some salty chip. Or I guess we could do chocolate as well.
Chocolate's always. I would have some chocolate. I'll open that. A little of the sea salt dark chocolate caramels from Trader Joe's.
We really should be sponsored by.
So you saying they're paying us $1,500 for this episode? Is that what you said?
Man. No, this is the kind of advertising they get from people like us without doing anything.
Yeah, that's true.
There's so many devoted Trader Joe's people. They write cookbooks that aren't affiliated with Trader Joe's, but they write them. And
I did have I get more of these now. Some of them are kind of jokes, but I did get someone reached out to us this week if we wanted to be sponsored by an energy drink. And I was like, yeah, we really don't drink energy drinks. Oh, so I thought about
it could keep us going.
Yeah, they had something there that
get ready to go to work. Have a great well, thank you, Berserker.
Getting ready for work. Have a great stream. Thank you, Berserker. Appreciate the lurk, bud. Appreciate you. Have a good day at work or an evening at work.
Evening. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Depending on
he's got to be doing a concert or something. But yeah, like I said, they had something at the end, like I said, where it was because it was all like, it was just kind of like the usual thing of like, give you a commission based on sale. Like, it was like, kind of one of those things. I think it was written very nice there, but at the very bottom, they did have a thing where like, if we wanted to try or whatever. They had like a gift pack that they would like send us out. So I thought maybe I might like respond and be like, well, if you want to send us this, like we'll try it. And if we really like it, maybe we'd be interested. But I was going to say usually we're not, because they have some stuff that was supposed to be more like a Gatorade that doesn't have the caffeine in it. And then like they also have then the energy stuff that does have caffeine in it, because they have more like a hydration type thing as opposed to like if you don't want that part of it. So
these are much better fresh. We still had an unopened box. The old ones? No, we had an unopened box from last year.
Wow.
And it sat in our pantry.
How do you do that?
It just was one of those things. It just sat in there, kind of gotten hidden a little bit.
You and your wife have amazing willpower.
But then
there's no freaking way that would last. Like this thing would last like barely a week.
I opened, probably because I will usually get a lot of stuff to give out as gifts and stuff and take it, and it was just left over. And you get to a certain point during the holidays and you're not eating any of that anymore. But
fair.
I was like, oh, I have this. I could give it as a gift. And then I looked at it. It was like Best Buy August of 2023. And I said, well, we can't do that. So we opened it, and it's gotten a lot. The caramel's gotten kind of drier.
Okay.
And I didn't like it, but I think Pocket likes, Oreos when they've gotten stale. Right. She's like, oh no, I love it. Like, me, I love it like this. And I was like, well, I had one. I'm like, that's all I want. These are much better this way.
Lady, how's it going? Good to see you. How are you? You know what you could have done with so if I would have tasted those and been in your camp about that, I would have said, oh, you know what I need to do? I need to make a shake and make a blizzard out of these and like whip them into there so that then you don't probably notice or care that it's a little bit
harder. Well, except Pocket enjoys them that way. So.
No.
Man, those are still good.
What is the bourbon whiskey y'all are trying? Great question. Oh my gosh, right?
It is a good question. Great question.
Boop. So we are doing a vertical tasting of 3 different, they are all foolproof whiskeys. They're from Trader Joe's. It's the 2021, the 2022, and the 2023. They are all, like I said, made by the same, like I said, it is a Trader Joe's product, but it is actually made by Sazerac, which is an owner and distiller. Specifically, they own Buffalo Trace. They also own Barton Distilleries. So this is made by either one of those houses and distilled there. It is 125. All of them are 125 proof. The only thing that is different is the year that they came out. So we're kind of doing a vertical tasting to see if you can tell if there is a difference. And there is actually a pretty big difference between each one, which is really cool. But yeah, all 125 proof. You might still be able to find the 2023 now, possibly depending on where you're at. Not completely likely.
Yeah.
But if you start looking for it, usually it's in what? When did this actually come out? Was it November?
I think, it was. Well, I'm trying to, how long
it was before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So
early November.
Sometime in mid-November.
Which was a little earlier than normal. I think the last few years it came out in December.
Okay.
So it was a little earlier this year.
So sometime mid-November, December, if you start looking at your Trader Joe's, any of the ones that actually sell spirits, they may have this on hand. And again, so like I said, Buffalo Trace just up the road from us. Oh, nice. Okay. So yeah, so this one is, again, everything's a little bit of speculation. It's definitely a Sazerac brand. Like I said, you can even tell by the bottle. Like I said, this is almost looks like a Rock Hill Farms bottle. So like I said, it has kind of that going for it. Some people think it's Buffalo Trace. Some people think that it is the Barton Distilleries, because they also make a 1792 full proof. And your shirt looks like something a 10-year-old's mom made him wear to church. I mean, that's true. Wow. This is one of my go-tos. I mean, I don't have one of those ones. I was going to wear my shirt with the picture of Patrick Mahomes just crying on it about calls and things like that. It wasn't available. It was
it was across the line.
Yeah, he crossed. That would have crossed the line, so I didn't do that. But yeah, like I said, I do agree. Keith looks way better in his hoodie. I would agree with that for sure.
Lucky hello, sir. Yes, I don't know. You got the Chiefs. Well, at least they get to play in New England this week. But New England's coming off a big win over Pittsburgh.
That's crossing the line.
Just like Kadarius Toney. Andrew's crossing lines.
I would. The only thing I would like to do is I would like to apologize to Lucky for having Matt Nagy be sent back to Kansas City, because I think that's half their woes probably. Talk about how you can see a offense completely regress. Lucky always with the kind words. Oh my God, Lucky always with the kind words. But yeah, so that is what we're doing, lady. Like I said, we're just kind of doing a tasting of these. It is something that normally would cost a little bit more if it did not have Trader Joe's branding on it. But again, I mean, I like all of these. We're going to go back through them again, but off of the first pass, you actually like the first one.
I believe I do.
You like the 2021 the best out of all those.
Where are you?
Guess after 3 Super Bowls, they need a year off. That could be lucky. It was really neat. Did you see
why they
that
didn't
play?
get him
Though?
any wide
That didn't-
receivers.
The play that didn't.
I saw
count?
the play. Yeah.
God, I wish that would have counted.
Yeah.
It really is a bummer that it didn't count. Like that pass, I even saw, like I listened to their podcast sometimes too, Travis Kelce talking about it. And he's like, is that the farthest pass? He's like, oh, I've never thrown a ball that far in my life. And they're like, did you like, no, he's like, oh, that could have gone so bad for me right there. He's like, if I'd have done that and if it would have been tipped or it's like, oh, I made such a horrible, and like, it just worked out initially. So it was very funny. All right. So you say the first one.
Like?
I think I am leaning toward the 22.
Okay.
I like the oakiness of the 23, but it seems a little strong. Okay, kids, have fun. Lucky, thank you for the lurk. Appreciate it. Appreciate you, Lucky.
Will we be dropping in on Lucky later?
I think if Lucky's streaming later, we're gonna have to drop in on Lucky. It's been a hot minute. Yeah, because he actually put up a tweet that said something about haven't streamed this week. I should do it. We do this, that, and the other. And I tweeted back. I said, if you don't, Keith's gonna be mad. He's gonna be upset. Yeah, I think I like the uniqueness. Just comparing, like, to thinking of. Sometimes I think of things in terms of, like I said, when we used to taste coffee all the time, I was the weird one where I was like, well, I like this because it's different. It doesn't taste like a Guatemalan should, or it doesn't taste, but I'm like, oh, I like this because this is unique to something, like a flavor profile we don't have. So that's why I think I like that one the most. I have a lot of things that are on the oakier side. I have a lot of things like, and that middle one, having that little bit of candied fruit in there, like a black tea note and some other sweetness. Like I said, I like that kind of going on together. Should go harass him about that again. You should. He better be on. 6 PB&Js left, saving them for vacation. Oh, nice. When is your vacation, Guardian Down? Or is it just a vacation from cooking? I'm taking a vacation from cooking. Here's
cooking.
the PB&Js, kids. He do be live? Good. All right. He better be live at least for the next like 20 minutes or half hour so we can drop in on him.
Yeah, that third one's definitely got that more smoky note going on. Which I like. I like that.
I like that.
That was the cool thing. We're talking about the Shooter's restaurant.
Yeah.
It smelled like you were walking into like a campfire in the mountains when you walked. And it was like, oh, I just didn't realize it'd been around that long. Mm-hmm. Wow. Because you haven't been at the radio station since.
I was 18, 17,
okay.
18.
Oh my. Let's not let, there could be some more math there. It's like the Dial of Destiny.
Don't do the math.
Yeah.
Week off of Christmas to New Year's off of work. Damn. Nice, Guardian Down. That's awesome. He's currently raging. Oh, poor Lucky.
Is that a bad term, raging?
He's probably upset. He's not playing Gambit,
Okay.
is he? What is he upset about?
Is he riding the raging saddle? He rode a raging saddle.
All right, back through?
Yeah, back through. Actually, I went back the other way.
It seems like I would like this one even less then because you said it was so much stronger the other way. Professional strike player. Okay, there could be raging in that too. Actually, that's got a little more spice in it the first time. They're going back through again. A little, definitely kettle corn. That one's definitely like that sweet little buttery kind of kettle corn flavor. Like that is pretty good. And I'm not against that one.
I'm not against
I would not turn it down if someone tried to hand it to me.
You're not kicking it out of bed for.
I'm sad we don't have any more of those.
There's just a little bit.
He's like, I'll sell it to you for $75.
That's right.
Like, wow, this is expensive.
There's almost a little something herbal in that second one too. Maybe that's the tea we're talking about, but it's almost like a refreshing.
You think it's like minty? Like, is it getting into
like
Basil Hayden's territory?
Yeah, that a little bit in there, along with the tea. So I do like that one too. I love the flavor combination. That's so glad that they are all not the same.
Him too.
That would have really let me down.
This could be real fucking boring.
That would have really let me down.
They were like all were the same.
That they aged it all. They aged a ton of it.
Yeah.
They took it all out. They put it in stainless steel somewhere, and then every year, Trader Joe's, how many do you want this year? Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
go to the vet. All right, we got about 2 more years left.
Yeah, exactly. I like that one a lot. That one, to me, too, the 2022, I have to hit that one again, like the 23 again. That one is the most complex. that is the most different things going on in it. If you like those things, great. If you don't, I get it. But like I said, has the most complexity in it.
It's smoky. Good smoky goodness in that last one.
The last one has been reminding me of almost like Elijah Craig, like their barrel proof stuff or their things that get aged a little more. Like I haven't had their I think they have an 18-year or whatever else, but like usually the barrel proof ones are still like 12-year. That usually always has a pretty strong like oak, like a little bit of that smoke to it too.
Actually, it's good to start out with the 21 because it is the lighter of them, flavor profile wise, and then work up. Yeah.
The current Elijah Craig batch that they have of their barrel proof, which I don't have, it's the C923, as in September of 23. That one just came out like literally is like most people are ranking it their top 1 or 2 of the entire year. Like that's how good it is. And it's also one that usually you can find a little bit easier. Like I would like to find a bottle of that. I have a C920, so that's from 3 years ago now that I've never opened. That's one of the ones that like I should open this and I just haven't.
Well, that's what we're looking for on Monday.
If we could find one of those, that's actually maybe we should go to Rum Runner.
We went there though.
I know, but that's who usually that's usually where Jay finds all that stuff.
Plaza. Did we go to Plaza?
We did, but we weren't like it was kind of okay. Like I got a bottle of Magellan there, which was nice, but I didn't get anything else.
Yeah. They are all unique.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I definitely like that too. I like them all for different reasons. Yeah. I'm still liking the 22 as my favorite. It's the most complex, in my opinion. It's got a lot of unique things going on in it.
Yeah.
And then the 21 has gotten a lot closer than what I originally said. Like those, I kind of go back and forth between, do I want something that's a little bit lighter and has, like I said, again, that kettle corn, little butter kind of going on in that, or do I want something that is like a little bit more of like oak,
smoky
and char and like that kind of like more.
It's almost like
heavier.
choosing between the two styles of scotch.
Yeah.
Do you want that smoky peaty or do you want
do you want it unpeated? Honey? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you want more of, exactly. Yeah, you just go back and forth and it's, do you want something that's a little more sweet and like maybe approachable in a way for a barrel proof, or do you want something that's a little bit more like aggressive, I guess? You want Paco or do you want Guardian Down? So which do you want? Do you want sweet? Do you want sweet and approachable, or do you want aggressive?
Aggressive and critical.
Downright mean.
Yeah, and just it'll hurt you.
Actually, it was funny. I posted the clip. I think it was last week. It was the one where we were joking about James Suckling, the name for a wine critic, or like, oh, that's fun. And in that one, I was like, oh, don't say that. I'm like, Guardian Down's going to look for that now or something. And he actually commented on it. He's like, oh, calling me out, are you? Man.
I have to drive, so I need to stop drinking these. But
did you want another chocolate?
But officer, I had 2 chocolates.
Really is more of a studying bourbon. Okay, I think I've made my decision. Have you made a decision on your
if somebody
on your order?
said,
Yeah, do you want to have a final decision on your order?
I know what my third one is.
Okay.
I haven't fully decided on my first and second, but I think I'm going to go with my initial. I'm going to go with the Gloria Estefan.
Rhythm is going to get you?
No. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, in that order.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. It was either 1 or 2 as my first choice.
Okay.
And I let me qualify, or let me explain this by saying I like them all for the different things. This one I could definitely have more of, although there isn't more of it to be had.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. because I do like that style. It is a little bit. It's more approachable, but there's just so many cool things going on in number 2, which I do have a bottle of at home, so I'm very happy about that. And then this one's just like smoky, but smoky goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Not super smoky, but the smokiest of them all. So, yeah, it'd be a toss up between these two. And I guess if somebody said, "Hey, I got these 3. What do you want?" I would probably say, "Yeah, give me a 2021."
It'd be funny if you went in a bar, you're like, "I'll take a 21 Trader Joe's bourbon whiskey."
That's
please."
right.
They're
That's
like,
right.
"Excuse me?" You're
The
like,
barrel proof? Do you have that?
yeah. Do you have the barrel proof?
Which one of these did you make your Manhattan with? Well, you didn't have this.
The 23.
The 23. Okay. All right.
That really came through. That was like, I think you might even know why now. Like after tasting that one was like, I think the other ones might have actually not had been quite as out of balance.
Yeah, especially
after
this
having
first
tasted
one.
these.
This would have been
100%. Yeah, that one probably would have been perfect. But yeah, the ratio I normally do for my Manhattan is usually 2 to 1, 2 bourbon, 2 parts bourbon, 1 part vermouth, sweet vermouth. Like I said, I had done that, and did I use all? I maybe had a little bit of something else, and that was 3. But no matter what it was, the amount that I put in of that high proof one, it was like, hey, sweet vermouth bourbon. it was aggressive. It was aggressive for sure.
All right, what's your final? What say you, Fussy Britches?
So I've just changed a little bit. I definitely, the 22 is my favorite.
Okay.
Just very unique. Lots going on in there. I think it's very, like I said, it's still very smooth. Like all of these have medium, nice viscosity to the body.
Yep.
But I would go 2, 1, then 3.
Okay.
Yeah. 3 is, and again, same as you. I like 3. It's good, but it's like, am I in the mood for, like I said, basically wood and some char?
Yeah.
With a little bit of burnt caramel or something else tied into there too. It's still, like I said, it's good notes, but it's only a few notes, whereas the other ones are kind of playing a full symphony. Like that's only playing a few bars, I guess. That's the best reference I could think of at the moment. I have had a bourbon or 2. That's all I got. I keep going back to it to make sure I'm not missing anything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because I have more bottles of this.
Yeah.
I may actually put this one back in the closet.
Is that that's the 22?
That's the 22. So I'll put that back in there I have one more unopened bottle of this plus this one.
Okay.
So I may want to keep that one in
Work
storage.
Through the 23s. But now it's cool though that I'm guessing you.
If only I had known then what I know now.
Make a mixed drink with that. But if you did, or if you're depending, the mood might call for a certain. You know what? I want to finish up with number 3. That would be like
I think final. I think it's a good capper onto everything. Like I said, as long as you've had some other and maybe that's why it's putting that into such focus, because I don't know if I'd noticed that when we had some of these separate, or if I'd had that just on its own. But having them all this way and having there be at least a little bit of a through line, and then you can kind of see where those variables are tasting wise. Yeah.
So that is interesting because you didn't have any of the 2021 here
no,
recently. And maybe you'd had the 2022, but when you drank the 23 kind of on its own, I'm guessing you enjoyed it.
I did.
And you didn't really.
No, I liked it. I thought it was a little on the oakier side, but I was like, I wonder if the other ones were like that. I just,
forgot.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, just hadn't had them. I knew I had the other one. And I think that might even be where some of this got spurred, because we started talking about it. I was like, we've got a little bit of each one. We should do that before the 21 is gone, literally.
I'm glad I still. It takes me a while to work through those. So
I know. And so now you have a 22 and a 23?
I do. Yeah.
I'll buy that 22 off you. I'll trade you a 23 for a 22. God damn it, man. Give it to me. Too bad I don't have a 21. I'll be like, I'll trade you.
No, that would be
a 21
cool,
for a 22 would have been a nice trade.
It's like baseball cards, but we do it with bourbon.
Adult baseball card trading is bourbon exchange.
Well, I get doubles of this one. I can let you have one of those.
I can let you have one of those.
That one. Okay, yeah.
I usually use this one in the spikes on my bike.
Okay, yeah, right.
The spokes. Crash.
Oh, man. I should never have folded my Walter Payton card.
Ouch.
I had 2 of them. Folded one.
Where's the other one?
It's in plastic.
Oh, do you have?
Yeah.
Is it a rookie?
It is.
Have you ever looked to see how much it's worth?
It fluctuates. I don't know where cards stand nowadays. But actually, Todd, insurance man, is like totally into like buying the baseball cards and stuff.
I should show him. I still have literally like a book of like all my old ones.
He'd be happy to either buy them from you or he's when we were over there a couple months ago, he had like stacks of tins and stuff. He's like, actually, that's kind of what I'm doing lately. Like,
oh wow,
buying cards. And he's like, I just went over to people's house and I just gave him I'll just offer him money for their whole collection. I don't know what's going to be in it. They don't know what's in it, but so
I always thought because I still have unopened that. Remember you bought me that mini Topps baseball card set?
Oh,
I always thought that was going to be worth something.
I literally too.
It's still in plastic, like never been open, like branded. And I think I looked it up one time. It's like $40.
Yeah,
like or something. I was like, God, I thought the novelty of that would have been weird enough that it would have.
Yeah, I have the 92 set of Topps, I think unopened, and that's like one of the least valuable set. At least it was.
Oh, really?
And I know it's funny. We watch. We don't have the History Channel, which Pawn Stars was on, but it's on Channel 13 in the morning at 6:00. So like as we're like when I'm not working and before Pocket goes to work, we'll watch old Pawn Star reruns.
Oh,
which I really like that. I like the history of that.
I catch clips of that on TikTok.
Yeah,
because like I'll see stuff and and then I'll watch through to like the other things to see what stuff is worth. Some I remember, some of them I don't.
Yeah, and like even so, like those the ones they show usually are like either 2010 through 2017, and they always make reference to the baseball card market has really dropped out the last few years. So I don't know if that's come back around I don't know, but I'm guessing it probably hasn't. So. Oh, we're shopping online.
Well, I decided to look quick because I was going to look there. We were talking about like probably the next few. Oh, they still do have some.
Okay.
110.5 proof. So every year, like I said, my brother and I, we go out and like I said, which we'll be doing on Monday of next week. We go out, we look for something a little extra special that we wind up trying. We kind of do what it's been calling our annual thank you podcast. Yep. It's been more than a year now. It's actually this will be our 6th.
I'll have to look it up, but 18, 19, 20. Yeah, 6th.
So this will be our 6th annual thank you
appreciation
podcast. Yeah, exactly. And like I said, we just kind of thank everybody for coming in, hanging out here, watching us. Like I said, whether you're watching on archives on YouTube or watching live on Twitch, interacting with us, we appreciate you. Yeah. So we usually find something a little extra special, something different, something we normally wouldn't buy or purchase. Like I said, if you've seen on the show, usually we don't get too crazy with prices on things unless it's something that's been given to me or whatever else. So we're kind of starting to investigate what we think we want to try, what sounds good. We've been looking at, like I said, one of our local bottle shops here actually has a 10-year 10-year Whistle Pig, which I like their stuff, a lot of their things. And it's like one of their store picks. But what's different about it is usually Whistle Pig is always in that 95 proof kind of range, 93 proof. This one's actually 110 proof. So kind of a little more toward that, cask strength, whatever you want to call it. So that would kind of be interesting. That was one we were kind of talking about. I don't know if they have anything else specifically, but we always try and buy sometimes from different places, local places.
Yeah.
We used to go to Total Wine a decent amount. There was always a person there that we kind of would talk to that always had a lot of good ideas and suggestions and was super cool and was on the money for like the first, 3? Was it the first 2 picks for sure? Was it 3? Was really, really cool. So that was a lot of fun.
So what have we done? We've done the Duncan Taylor was first year.
Duncan Taylor was the first year, which was excellent. We could not stop raving about that one, which was actually a Duncan Taylor Highland Park. So Duncan Taylor basically buys, they go to someone like Highland Park and say, hey, you've got Highland Park. I don't know what that, I think that was an 18 year. You've got Highland Park 18 year.
Was it 20? Maybe it was more. I don't know.
Was it even more? Anyway, they buy something from Highland Park that's already been aged a certain amount. They take it, they do an extra layer of finishing on it, age it an extra amount. And so it's kind of usually like a weird number variant of time. It's packaged a little bit nicer, but everything was just fantastic about that one. So that one was one of our favorites. We did the Balvenie 21 year, which was really good. That was the third year. Or was that the second year?
That may have been the second year.
Was that the second year?
Because then we did the Jura.
The Jura Tide and Time was excellent. Yep. And that one you can still find. That one actually comes out every year as a yearly product.
And then the Tears of
Llorona was good. Was really good. That was a tequila.
And then the barrel.
Yeah, and then we did the barrel last year. The barrel was the one, like I said, if you looked at a flow chart, unfortunately, it was like, yeah. The barrel was good. It was unfortunate because I've had some really good stuff from barrel.
Yeah.
That one was not probably the best one to show off, so that was kind of a little bit of a bummer.
Yeah. Especially since everything was just
We
It
kept building every
amping
year.
up
Like even
and
the
this-
tequila, which we were kind of like, man,
it
this
was
one's
so
kind of out.
good.
This was a little more outside because
Made the
it
best
was an
margarita.
extra añejo, so it had been aged, I think, 4 years or something like that.
Yeah.
It had multiple different finishes. So I was like, gosh, I don't know if this is gonna be good. This might be spending too much over the top, and it was excellent. Like
Great.
So that one had been great. So yeah, it's kind of like I said. Then after that, and even that one, we were on our own. We kind of made that pick on our own, just looking at things, reading up on stuff.
Yeah.
And so that wound up working out very well. But then, like I said, yeah, even though I've had several things, I have a bottle of the Vantage right now, which still seems to be very much accessible. I don't know why that one is still around, but they even have that at Costco still today when I was there. Not sure why exactly.
That nose and that
Well,
second
they have a
one, it's
Widow
just-
Jane 15-year vanilla bottle, limit one per customer. It's only $250. I don't know why they're having to limit it one per customer.
Oh, wow.
I have another regular Widow Jane, $100.
I've
I had
never
one
heard
of those
Widow
over
Jane.
at HJ's, and it was good.
Okay.
Not that one, but this one. I think.
Okay.
It was pretty good. Only, oh my god! I know that. I'm glad they put the limit one per customer. Right, microbes. It's like Jesus Christ! Like I would buy them out. Ridiculous. So we're just kind of flipping through here quick, seeing if there's any ideas. Seagrass is really good. This is the one that Jay's always talking about. He's like, you guys should get this one because it's a even longer barrel. Like this one, I think is like 7 or 8 years, and this one's 16-year.
Low stock.
Yeah, unfortunate. Low stock, $250. Time for dinner. Have a good night. Nice to see you, Keith.
Yes. Oh, well, thank you. Enjoy your dinner. We'll be doing that shortly, I think, as well. Having some
Definitely.
dinner.
Yeah, very
But,
much so.
Yeah, have a great evening. Thank you for popping in, Blanty.
Yeah, appreciate you planning.
Appreciate it.
Have a wonderful dinner, and I will talk to you tomorrow, I'm sure. Nothing super interesting there. Well, see if there's anything Scotch quick as we flip through. See you mañana, mama. That was funny. Ardbeg, I've always had a bunch of people talk to me about Ardbeg before, but I've not had it. That's heavy vapor. I'm not familiar with that one in particular, but Ardbeg
I'll
in
stop
general.
you before I get the heavy vapors.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to go out and just kind of see what hits us. It'd be interesting to almost, if I think at least one of the times we had looked at stuff again, we had looked at, because Duncan Taylor does a bunch of different things. And I remember a couple, and we're like, oh, that one's been aged 22 years. Remember, it looked like about the color of that apple juice that we had earlier.
Yeah, or lighter.
Because that would be kind of neat. Like if we found one that really interested us, like something like that, where we almost could go back to the beginning in a way. That to me would be kind of an interesting
Duncan
story
Taylor?
to taste. Yeah,
Okay.
like not necessarily Highland Park. But I know they've done some ones with Lefroy, and they've done some other ones. Like if we tried one of those, that might be kind of interesting.
So we should start out. So you're saying start at Total Wine?
I said that. I don't know if that's like, I don't know. Now the more I'm thinking about it, actually, I wouldn't mind going all the way over to
Rum Runner?
Rum Runner, yeah.
We can go to Rum Runner.
I'd almost say like go there and then come back up to Total Wine or something like that.
Okay. Start the farthest away.
Yeah. Also, because I think, like I said, they could, like I said, if we actually could find one of those Elijah Craigs of that one, like that one almost, even though that one, again, that one surprisingly, even though that's like literally like multiple whiskey of the year nominations and everything else, like I said, it's like maybe an $80 bottle. Like it's not even, but it would, like I said, again, if it's still the bet, like I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, like I said, I saw that on several different lists, as they say.
I don't know if you want to add those to your... But I need to not have any more of those.
But if you had one more chocolate, though, it'd be okay.
Yeah, right.
Then he finished
that completely
everything.
counteracts everything.
That counteracted everything. Just right
Finish
there
them
on
up.
the table. Yeah, just topped them all off there.
That's right.
So anyway, we'll be doing that on Monday, going out and hanging out. I wish I was braver with being out in public, doing something like that live. That would be kind of fun, like driving around somewhere and just like chatting and doing like a live show. But I think that is always kind of dangerous and weird. Although while we were at Disneyland, we saw people like walking around and doing they were literally doing a live stream on TikTok, walking around and talking.
Oh, really?
Because if you're on TikTok flipping around, you'll see people at Disneyland like, oh, we're gonna go ride this ride, and they're just doing their whole thing. When we were walking around one of the stores, it was literally someone had like I said, their camera up and they were reading their chat and they were going through the thing. They're just like walking through the store, just like that. It's
people watch that.
Yeah, I don't for very long. I'll usually check in for like a minute and be like, oh, what's going on? Like, oh, where are they at? That kind of thing. And then it's just kind of like done from there. But yeah. Just ask permission. You were good. Yeah, exactly. Most people usually it's like it would be totally fine if we actually did something like that. But anyway, so we'll be doing that on Monday. But next Thursday's show, we already kind of planned out a little bit, which I think is going to be fun. When I was at Costco today, I found a port that I wanted to try. So I picked that up. It's a tawny port, which ties into a drink, a kind of a like a little bit of a riff, more toward the like holidays, like toward the fall. Of the it was the Boulevardier, right? Or was it the Negroni? Which one was it where they swapped it out?
The Negroni. I can't remember which one. But okay. You've sent me that link, so we'll have to just revisit that.
We'll have to look, but it's one of those, and basically you take out the one of the elements, which is the take out the Campari bit, right?
Campari or the sweet vermouth? Oh, maybe it's the Campari. I can't remember it. Yeah, it's one of those.
Something gets swapped out. So long ago. There are three things in this drink. There are three things normally in the drink.
Yeah, it's not the gin or the whiskey.
It's not the gin or the whiskey. So either the sweet vermouth or the Campari gets swapped out, and you actually use port, and it kind of adds, like I said, with the tawny port, it adds that nuttiness, adds even a little bit more sweet. So maybe it actually is the sweet vermouth. Maybe
that
might make a little more sense.
Yeah, likes that for the complexity, or and more of a fall and winter type component. So anyway, so we're going to try that port. Keith was talking about that maybe you'll also get the Trader Joe's has a 10-year tawny as well. We could blind taste those. Yeah, we could.
Which would be totally fair, I think, to do, like to see actually what the quality on those is. And then, like I said, we'll make that mixed drink. So that'll be kind of next week's podcast, which will be heading right into, again, the holidays. Have you ever done an eggnog? That is a great question, lady.
Yes.
We have done an eggnog before. We've done several different eggnogs. Trader Joe's used to have a chocolate eggnog that was probably one of the best things I've ever had in my entire life.
Delicious.
It was so good. Yes. They do not make it anymore, but it was absolutely fantastic. Obviously, you could make your own, add chocolate to whatever your eggnog blend is. The best eggnog I've ever had is actually one that a good friend of ours makes every year. And it's kind of a blend of a couple different Alton Brown recipes. That is a concoction, but that is absolutely excellent. The worst thing I've ever had is one of the Trader Joe's eggnogs.
Which there is a podcast for that, which you can look at. A little search at our site or at our YouTube channel.
Yep, go in the archives.
And, find that.
Oh, that's the merch button. Sorry, shameless plug is what I meant to hit, but we do have merch too. But shameless plug, check out YouTube, search for eggnog. You will find the one where we tried the Trader Joe's one.
There is a wine-based eggnog.
You're trying to make me
spirit. If you want to try that one instead.
Yeah, we tried that one. Don't recommend it. It already has booze in it, but no, I actually do like eggnog quite a bit, especially if it is good eggnog. Front half of my tongue gets a little bit of love. Wine. I know it's a wine-based.
It's a wine-based spirit. Well, because some stores, like you were saying before, some Trader Joe's stores don't have the licensing to sell,
so they can't have brandy
booze,
or something.
So they can't have that in there. So there's an eggnog that has a wine, and there's. Surprisingly enough, still a lot of that left, I guess, at the warehouse, and so we've been ordering that, and people have been buying it.
The wine-based one?
Yeah.
Have you tried it?
I have not tried it. We also have a wine-based cocoa liqueur and a wine-based JoJo's peppermint one.
I could see both of those. Wine-based cocoa, like a lot of people do.
I don't know what kind of wine it is. We were talking. Fitz and I were musing about that today. We're like, is it white wine? Is it red wine? It's still like 14.75%, but yeah, the others are vodka-based. But
Wait,
we don't have those in it. The cocoa and the JoJo's chocolate peppermint.
Oh, I thought you just said those were wine based.
No, they're vodka based. The ones that we can get, those are not available anymore. So now the other ones that are wine based.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
are the only ones that are available. So
we offered eggnog drinks at the coffee shop. I used to be a barista. Traumatized by it now. I could get, like, if you had a lot of that around. I basically only have eggnog, obviously, when it's kind of seasonal like this, and that's why I like it. It's very similar to me to, like, to other things. Like pumpkin pie spice is always very popular with a lot of people. I like eggnog. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, me too.
The eggnog screams when steamed.
Oh, wow. Just like a lobster.
I was just going to say, eggnog is the lobster of steamed beverages, apparently. Sinful not to have the chocolate eggnog anymore. Yeah, it was really good. But yeah, definitely go take a look at that. I don't know if a regular Trader Joe's eggnog is that way, but specific to the one that already had the booze in it, not the wine one.
We sold 82 cases of that this year.
You also sell some other cheap beers
I'm just saying.
You're not
obviously,
selling.
And that's when people ask me for my honest opinion, I give that to them, and then I also
we sell a lot of it, but I think it tastes like shit.
And we sell a lot of it. I don't.
It's
like
very cinnamon. It's very like cinnamon red hot
weird.
forward, and then the alcohol tasted weird. It's just bad.
Yeah.
If you like a really classic eggnog, this was the opposite of it. Obviously there must be a market for it. People like it. It was not for me. I like a classic, rich, delicious, properly spiced eggnog. And then, you want to make it a smart eggnog. I'm down for that too. You joked, I think last year or earlier this year, should we get another one and try it again? That would be a whole podcast if we had thought of it earlier. I didn't know there was multiple trying all of the Trader Joe's eggnogs,
the wine-based,
all the boozy
spirits.
eggnogs. That peppermint JoJo thing probably sounds pretty good though. Like do that in hot chocolate or something like that.
Yeah.
Like pour that in there. I could be that. Cheap drunk. Yeah, that's. I don't know how much is that bottle for the eggnog.
They're $8.
I saw some at Costco today too. They had like an eggnog, and I almost grabbed it, but then when I saw it had alcohol in it, and I said no.
So
I'd rather have just regular eggnog.
I've heard Fitz say, "Do you have a Costco membership?" Costco sells one that's very similar to the Trader.
So not good then either. I'm glad I didn't buy that.
I don't know.
Wait, why? So who did he say that costs very similar to?
To customers.
Because you were out of it?
Yeah, because we don't have that one right.
Oh, you're out of that one.
We don't have the spirit-based one anymore.
Okay,
that one's
because it's all in
done.
the dumpster.
We sold 82 cases of it. It's gone.
Oh God dang!
Yes,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's all gone.
It's done.
So anyway, like I said, so we'll have some port and some drinks next week. Can't beat real eggnog and adding your favorite. Yeah, that's the better thing to do. Like I said, again, that one every year that we have that Alex makes is absolutely fantastic. And like I said, that's definitely one of the things I look forward to, as well as the curry stew, which I talked about to someone earlier today too. So lots of good food coming up. But anyway, so we'll have that next week. And then who knows the week before New Year's what we'll do. I don't know. You talked about some sparkling beverages.
Yeah,
I don't know if we
probably should do something like that, I think, to toast it, to ring in the new year. Of course.
Ring in the new year and things of that nature. So so that's going to be the next couple podcasts, which will be the usual Thursday evenings, 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern, because of the time change stuff. Actually, let's finally I've had this up the entire time. There we go. Get the graphic going. But so we've got some good things planned out. Appreciate you guys all being here, hanging out, and just supporting the channel, as it were, and coming in with your suggestions. And again, if you guys ever have suggestions of stuff that you guys enjoy, thanks for a delightful stream. Appreciate you, lady. Thank you for being here. Thank you for appreciate you
participating. We appreciate that.
If you guys ever have suggestions of things we could try, you can either hit us up while we're live. Obviously, I stream every day, Monday through Friday. When we're not podcasting, obviously, you know me doing some Destiny stuff, some other game things. We're always talking things. Or if you want to put stuff in the Discord, in the pub section, you are more than welcome to put in either things that you like, things we should try, or what we always talk about. Let us know the stuff we should avoid. Save some money that way. Nothing better than having a wedding night with dropping your nog and your girl's egg. Oh, that almost came together. That was close. Dropping your nog and your girl's egg. Dropping your noggin in her toboggan. I think that might have been a little more interesting.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know. We're going for some sort of themes there. Yeah, I would. a little sus on that one, Microbes. I think so too. All right. As we said earlier, we're gonna go say hi to Lucky. He's super nice. He is grinding his way through strikes. He was in here earlier. Go tell him that you appreciate him and that he is appreciate that he is working so hard to try and get the Thorn Catalyst if he hasn't gotten it yet. We'll go in there and tell him that hopefully he gets it on the run right now. He's doing some Battlegrounds. If you don't know Lucky, I don't know who you are. He is everywhere on Twitch, is always super nice with his time, generously helping people. Huge supporter of this channel. And also, usually I wind up doing some GMs with him and Jav at some point. We get those done together too, which I'm assuming will happen at some point this season. So let's go say hi to him. And everyone else here, have a wonderful rest of your evening. And until next week. You'll see me tomorrow. You'll see this guy next week.
Thursday,
yes,
thank you everybody for being here. We really appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Talk with you soon.
All of those things. Good night.